it's not something that I remember doing last year or year before. So I think it's new for me, and I think it's the right thing to do. You can tell me what you think about it. So I'm doing something this year. I'm pruning this year. A little different, I think, than I've ever done it. So let me explain what I'm doing. These are Primocanes. These are Prime Arc Freedoms, and everybody that knows anything about Primocane knows that they produce on first year canes. That's why they're called Primocanes. Prime meaning one. First year they produce fruit. Well, these produced in about a month and a half ago maybe. And then it got real hot. I mean, real hot. We had about 2 or 3 weeks there of 100 or over, and that's kind of when they stopped producing. As I don't blame them a bit. But many of these canes have spent berries on them, berries that made, month or so ago. I'm going to prune these back and take off that top. Cane. Now, only on the ones, what I'm doing is only on the ones that have spent berries on them, that have already made berries. I don't see, and I haven't read anything about this, I haven't talked to anybody about this, but I don't think this cane, let's just talk about this cane. It's already made berries a month or so ago off its Primocane. I don't see this cane making any more berries. I just don't think it would. It's already sprouted right from here and from here, and the terminal end up here. So I really don't think it will. So I'm going to cut it back past, 6 or 8 inches, or past where the last vestige of the spent berries are. And there's another one. Now this is a lateral of the one I just pruned, coming off the side of it, but it's got spent berries on it too. So I'm going to come back and cut that back. What I think I'm doing, we'll find out, but what I think I'm doing is spurring lateral growth, and maybe, just maybe, that lateral growth will give me berries this year, but certainly give me some lateral canes for next year's berries. Again, I'm starting to get a lateral right there, a little bit of a lateral. Right above it though, I have those spent berries. So I'm going to cut above that, and just cut those spent berries off. This is a lateral off the same cane that I just pruned on. It doesn't have any spent berries on this particular lateral, so I'm going to leave it alone. I really think we're probably fixing to see some blooms on that. That's just a leaf that doesn't look pretty, and I think I'll take it off. There's a few spent berries right there, so I'll take that off. Now all this is on the same cane. These last 3 cuts have been on the same cane, so I'll take that off. I've got lots and lots of them, so let me just show you a few. Again, there's a berry, so I'm going to cut back behind where that last berry made, and there's some more berries on the end, and I just let it fall to the ground. Same thing here, spent berries, cut it right there, and I believe I'm going to get a lateral, and so that's what we're looking for. Now there's a real tall one. I let that go because I wasn't ready to prune it. I wanted to make sure, I wanted to get all the berries out of the way. And as you can see, it produced quite a few berries on that cane. But I'm gonna cut it off now and get those out of the way. I'm pruning for lateral growth, but I'm also pruning the spent berries off. Again, I don't think they're gonna do anything else this year. That one had a bunch of berries on it. I just don't see it doing anything, so I'll come back behind where that berry is right there. Come back behind that and take that off. And take that one off. And that ain't much of one, but it's got some berries on top, so I'm gonna take it off. There's a dead cane. I'll take that out, but that's not what I'm showing you right now. There's one berry right there, one spent berry. So I'm gonna come right behind it. Take that off. Take that off. There's a head, berry head, terminal end, and where it produced berries. Gonna take that off. I've got a bunch. I don't know how long you want to stick around for this, but I think what I'm doing is going to help the plant. It's going to help me for this year because I think I'm going to get some more berries out of it. It's starting to cool off. Next week is supposed to be the highs in the mid to high 80s. That is perfect weather for producing fall blackberries. So I really feel like doing this is going to spur on some production. There's a berry head, a berry terminal end right here. I'll take it off back here. I really think I'm going to get some production off these that I'm taking off because I think it's going to spur some lateral growth. And those laterals, this time of year, the laterals are where I typically get the berries. I've shown you that in the past, that I usually let the laterals grow where I used to cut them off. And I let them grow now, and some of these got a little, I don't know, I don't think that's rust, I think that's just heat. Blackberries can handle the heat, but sometimes they succumb a little bit, and I think that's where some of these dead canes came from, is just, they got hot. I mean, you know, stuff gets hot. It has been a brutal, brutal summer here. So, take that off. Bunch of seed heads or berry heads right there. Take that off. Just anywhere where I see that has produced berries this year. I'm not talking about the floor canes because they produced and died, and I've already pruned those out. I'm talking about berries from Primocanes from this year's Primocane. And there's a great example. I am getting a bloom right there, or have already gotten a bloom. I am beginning to get a berry right there. And that is what we're looking for. It's pollinated, starting to grow, and that's not the only one. I've gotten several like this. So what I'm doing is trying to encourage some more of that by taking out these seed heads, berry heads. I keep saying seed heads. Berry heads that have already produced off their Primocanes, and they're just not doing anything else. Now here's a long lateral. Normally, I mean, I would come in here and prune that off. I just don't want a lateral that long, but I'm really expecting the terminal end to make me some berries this year. I don't really need the berries. I probably should take it off. I mean, I've got a freezer full of berries, but I'm just gonna leave it. I'm just gonna leave it and see what it'll do. I don't know. So I think it's gonna, cut that back quite far enough. I've already pruned some of these. I did this about a week or so ago, but I left some so I could show you. And so that's what we're doing now. Again, some berries right there. And we're just gonna prune back behind where the berries made. And I really believe I'm going to get some berries out of this. I know I don't see any reason why I would not get any new growth, lateral growth, and that's what you want. Laterals are where you make most of your berries. Everybody wants to keep these long canes, and boy, it has been my experience that laterals are where you get growth. Now guess what? Guess what? We got stuff going on. So there you go. You know, it's that time of year that we're going to start getting blooms and berries. So I'm trying to encourage that by taking off the part that I think is done. I just think these are done. I think when they produce berries, you know, the last 10 inches of it or 12 inches of it or whatever, where the berries made are just done. So for that reason, I am doing this, trying to take off those that have had berries on them, like that one, and hopefully we're going to spur some new growth. That's a seed head, a berry head. a terminal end berry head, if you will. But that's where most of the Primocane berries make, is on the terminal ends. You'll see this is a good place for it. I think that one I think those are fairly new blooms, so I'm gonna leave those alone. This one is another long cane. It's way out there. I don't like it, but I'm gonna leave it because I feel like I'm gonna get something on these terminal ends here. I may not. It may be, you know, I should cut it off. I don't know. There again, berry heads on a terminal end. Cut that off. Berry heads come back behind the last berry, where the last berry made. Cut it off right there. There's berries there. Come back. There's a berry right there, and I'm just gonna cut it behind the last vestige of berries. There's one right there. It's got a lot of old berry heads on it coming off. This one here is going to come off. This one's got just a little dab there, and I ought to leave it, but I'm going to cut that off too. Had a couple of berries on that one. I'm just going to make another round. I think I'm showing you what I needed to show you, but I've got some canes and some laterals that are huge that I need to come in here and tie up. I'm going to cut that one off because that is a cane, not a lateral, and I'm going to come in here when I get both hands free and tie that with my tying machine to the trellis. But I really think this is going to make me some, if not berries, make me some new growth. And I'm just trying to take out the growth that is spent, that's done, or that I think is done. I just don't see it producing any more berries, especially on those terminal ends where they made berries, you know, a couple of months ago. So that's what I'm doing. I'm not telling you to do it. I just think it's the right thing to do. So, you know, so we can start getting more blooms, and that's what it's all about. I've got several that are above the trellis. I need to come through here, like I say, when I drop the camera, and then can come in here and do a little bit more cleanup of some of these canes. But I just want to show you what I'm doing, how I'm pruning these. It's not something that I remember doing last year or year before. So I think it's new for me, and I think it's the right thing to do. You can tell me what you think about it, and what you're doing. If you're pruning yours at all, if you're pruning your berry ends off. Now this cane is dead, but it produced berries, and then it died. But it's a Primocane. It's not a Floricane. It's just it came up, produced berries, and then the heat got it, I guess. And you can see where the heat got a lot of these. I mean, that's a Floricane. I mean, a Primocane from this year, and it's dead right there. It turns to green right there. So I guess I can cut that off, see if it does anything. I don't think it will, but we'll see. Anyway, pruning Primocanes. Again, these are Primocanes. I'll do something different with Floricanes, but these are Primocanes. Pruning them in the fall, and I think this is going to be the right thing to do. And of course, I'll let you know what I see. If I start seeing production on these, especially on the ones that I've pruned off, then we'll show it to you, and we can learn together. How about that? Let's do that. Let's learn together. Hopefully that will spur new growth, new lateral growth, and then we can go from there and just have a big, nice hedge of berries, and everybody's happy. All right. I think that's it. We're gone.